Said that a plague of locusts. Locusts, as you can see, insects which fly in big groups or can destroy crops. He said a plague of locusts would have left more than this. This hail has left nothing. Now my whole year's hard work has gone. This year we'll have no corn. And that night was a very sad one, sorrowful one. All our work for nothing. There's no one who can help us, he said to himself. We'll all go hungry this year. He said that we all will go hungry this year because, everything has, evaporated and everything has been destroyed. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope, help from God. So when we have hope, we can't say no to anything because that small voice in our heart will say, move on. Even when there's no way, the heart will find a way. So here also, Lencho finds a way. Let's read further. Don't be so upset, even though this seems like a total loss. Remember, no one dies of hunger. That's what they say. No one dies of hunger. All through the night, Lencho thought only of his one hope, the help of God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, told, sees everything, whatever is in our heart as well. Now, he was, waiting for the God's help, as he has been told that, God listens to each and everyone's heart and he knows everyone's problem. So let's read further what's written over here. It's written that Lencho, he was an ox of a man. Now, here, this term ox of a man is a metaphorical expression that is used to describe someone who possesses greater physical strength, similar to that of an ox. So, all know that an ox is known for its ability to perform heavy tasks. And in the same way, he was a hardworking person. He was an ox of a man. And the following Sunday at daybreak, he began to write a letter, which he himself would carry to town and placed in the mail. It was nothing less than a letter to God. He wrote, God, if you do not help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. So it's told that whenever, it's best to keep your secrets in your heart, failures in your heart, and tell them to God, because God is the one who's going to deal with all that and help us. I need 100 pesos, that is, currency of several Latin American countries. So pesos, he says that I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again. Why? Because he was an ox of a man and he was a very hardworking person. And he did not say that I can't do it. He always said, I can do it because he had faith, immense faith in God. He wrote to God on the envelope, put the letter inside, and still, troubled, went to town. Why he was troubled, you all know. He was sad because his crops had been ruined, that is, destroyed. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. So, one of the employees now, who was a postman and also helped at the post office, went to his boss and laughed heartily. Oh my God, what has happened? What has he written? A letter to God? Never in his career as a postman had he known that address. The postmaster was a fat, and friendly fellow. He also started laughing. He also broke out laughing. Here, broke out laughing. This phrase means to suddenly start laughing, often uncontrollably. Here they both started laughing, and he was laughing when he became serious and not tapping the letter on his desk commented. What faith! I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter. Starting up a correspondence with God, starting up a chat with God. So, in order not to shake the faith of the writer, that is Lencho in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. He said, "Answer the letter." But when he opened it, it was clear. Evident means clear that to answer it he needed something more than goodwill. That is ink and paper, he needed something more rather than just ink and paper. But he stuck to his resolution. He asked for money from his employees. He himself gave part of his salary, and several friends of his were obliged. They were, you know, told about this and they obliged to give something for an act of charity. Everyone, was told about the situation. They all obliged. Now, it was impossible for him to gather 100 pesos, so he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half, that is 70 pesos. He put the money in an envelope, addressed it to Lenchu, and with it a letter containing only a single word as a signature: God. So, what was written? God. The following Sunday, Lenchu came very early. That is a bit earlier than usual. Why? Because he wanted to know whether the reply from God has come or not. It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him. While the postmaster, experiencing the satisfaction of a man who has performed a good deed, looked on from his office, he was watching their behavior and what was going on. Lencho showed not the slightest surprise. Why? Because he had an immense faith in God. And seeing the money, such was his confidence that, he didn't have any surprise. But he became very angry. Why? Because when he counted money, God could not have made a mistake, he said, nor could he have denied Lencho what he had requested. Why? Because he had immense faith in God. Immediately, Lencho went up to the window to ask for paper and ink. On the public writing table, he started to write with much wrinkling of his brow. Now, here, wrinkling of his brow typically refers to the action of a person's forehead, forming wrinkles or furrows, usually as a result of certain emotions. So, he was angry, so there was a wrinkling on his brow, and when he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp, which he licked and then affixed to the envelope with a blow of fist. Did the moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went and opened it. It said, God, of the money that I had asked for, only 70 pesos reached me. Send me the rest since I need it very much. But don't send it to me through the mail. Why? Because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. Lencho. Here, bunch of crooks is used to describe a group of people who are dishonest because, according to him, they had taken his money. That is 30 pesos. Isn't it a feeling of surprise for them? Why? Because they had, they had given him the money. Why? Because they wanted to perform a good deed. But now everything, vanished after that.